Yo, JD here to all this, and as you can see, we're at Spain here today for my 5th guide in this hot lap and setup series. So as always, get the best possible exit onto the start finishing straight and get the DRS as early as you can. And for this first corner, you will be looking at the 100-meter board, so that's the second board on the left hand side. We're going down 4 gears for this one, so as soon as you pass that, do a late apex, try and stay nice and tight, but don't necessarily need to hit the curve as much. As the barrier ends on the left hand side, stay nice and tight again. I stay in 7th gear for this next corner before the shadow. That's your braking point for this. Do a relatively late apex and get enough power as soon as possible. Unwind the car, look for the pole on the left. As that goes out of view, that's your braking point. Do a really late apex, 3rd gear again, really careful on the traction. Stay in 6th gear for this corner. As the curb starts on the right hand side, again do a late apex, keep the car as straight as possible coming up here. As the curb finishes on the left hand side, that's your turning point. Do a slight little lift, DRS as you can, and for this next corner is just before the 100-meter board, braking really late, middle of a corner for the apex. Keep car nice and straight, keep it flat out half on this curb because it will actually stop you from spinning out. As the car comes back, go back in 4th gear, curb ends on the left hand side, 4th gear once again, just before the shadow. That's your braking point, half on this curb, half on next curb. Really cautious on the traction coming here now, unwinding it onto the main straight, DRS again, and that is a 17.7. and as you can see, we didn't actually beat our time. It was so close to beating it, but I actually set that time over like 11 days ago, and I didn't realize how good that lap actually was because I actually couldn't beat my actual trial time. So that is as close as I could get, and back then I just didn't really think to record it. But as you can see, we're on number 1 in the world by 0.2 of a second ahead of NOR Evo, who is pretty damn good on the wheel in this game. So that lap was a really good lap, and as you can see by that one, that was by no means pretty poor itself. So that's the setup I used for this. 6.6 wings actually, because I feel stability is actually pretty important around here. I find using 7.6 just makes the car a little bit too oversteery, so 6.6 is a really good compromise for me. 50/70 transmission. So far I've tried to play around with it, but that's what really works for me. This time suspension geometry, top 2 staying in the middle, and then the bottom 2 just 1 click to the left. I just find a little bit too much on the rear at the very bottom, just unsettles the car a little bit, so I just found that really worked out for me. Suspension same as usual. The brakes 81/57, so not too much brake pressure because you can lock up, but you don't really want the car. It's a very oversteer prone circuit, so you just don't want it to oversteer. Keep it as stable as possible, and I find that really works for me. 7 on the ballast because you're using 6.6 wings, so you still want that initial turn and bite. But that's my Spain hot lap. Hope you enjoyed, and see you tomorrow.